Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to take a look at the new meta. Basically we're going to have here from Dracoverse, which I'm also partnered with for some teams of course as you know. We're going to have here the the new meta that's going to be happening for the next season. We have like the PvPoke rankings here. PvPoke itself doesn't have them on yet. This is the old rankings, so you're still going to compare a little bit towards what have changed. And so we're going to dive in here today to see which Pokemon are top meta, which Pokemon are maybe surprisingly a bit higher up. And also, of course, there are going to be a lot more videos coming out on this channel here towards the new season. Definitely subscribe if you haven't already, because there are going to be a lot of guides as well towards what you want to build, what you don't want to build, what teams you want to have, a lot of stuff. Trust me, there's going to be a lot of stuff happening here on this channel. And so, I'm kind of excited for the new season. I saw a lot of people being a little bit disappointed for the changes for the moves for the season. Out of a content creator view, maybe I'm also a bit disappointed, but out of like the meta itself, I think the current, the upcoming meta is going to be very, very interesting with a lot of play for a lot of different Pokemon, and I'm definitely very excited for this one. And I actually do like the move update quite a bit as like a player's perspective here, especially for like more of a smaller one, which is usually the case for this time of the year. Next one is supposed to be a little bit bigger again, so hopefully Niantic is gonna stick with that as well. But yeah, I'm definitely kind of excited for the new season and for the move updates, but let's take a look at the new meta. That's going to be the top 15 here for the first top 15 basically for the meta. We're going to see Clodsire as last time as well, still on rank 1. We're going to see Corsola going up a little bit here, Mandibuzz going a little bit down, but they're kind of staying the same. Primeape actually jumping up from number 10 currently to number 3, because this Pokemon now has access to, has coverage against Corsola, which makes it a very good Pokemon to use still. And also Diggersby is going to go a little bit higher up thanks to the Fire Punch buff, where also Primeape again is one of the main counters against it. We're going to still have this kind of block out of water Pokemon here, which is kind of hilarious, just a little bit further down, but they didn't really get nerfed too much. I saw some people saying Feraligatr they're going to get nerfed. Yes, kinda got nerfed, but like we're gonna talk about this in a separate video, so like the Pokemon that are a little bit worse this season. But yeah, again, we're going to see here as well that most of the stuff is kind of the same. There's not really a big change. What the new change kind of did more is bring some more stuff together, I would say. Like some more Pokemon have some more play now, which is kind of cool, without really creating any crazy meta monster other than the Corsola in the Galarian form. Which also again can only be changed to be bad again by changing the moves it has, which I don't think gonna happen. So Corsola, for sure something worth the investment currently. Definitely going to be a Pokemon that's very annoying to deal with. But yeah, we already have a video on this Pokemon on the channel anyway. But we can now move on to the next 15. We have Clefable, Malamar, Toxapex, the Alone Sandslash. And we can see real quick here as well where the Alone Sandslash is. Sandslash actually only climbed up by a tiny bit, as you're gonna see here, only by 4 rankings. So this Pokemon is still of course worth getting and still gonna be a little bit better. And we're gonna take a little bit more of a look into this one as well for a different video. But it's not that it's gonna get like a crazy buff that's gonna completely put it higher up there. But what got a crazy buff is Stunfisk. Look at the normal Stunfisk. Normal Stunfisk before was rank 101, and now it is rank 22, which is a ginormous buff. Same goes for Steelix, and this is something that I'm actually excited for. Steelix with Thunderfang might act actually really nicely as a bait for water-type Pokemon, and I would really like to see this happening, because they are going to be able to beat most of the water-type Pokemon unless they're going to have the part ground typing. And so Steelix has way more play this season, which is kind of cool. And we see another Pokemon that got buffed this season with a lot more play, which is Togedemaru. If we're going to take a look at where Steelix was at 34, got a little bit of a buff with a different move, but Togedemaru was actually at 102 and now is all the way in the top 30 of the next meta, which is kind of exciting. Moving on now to the next one, it is going to be here Machoke at 31. I still find it funny that Machoke is so highly ranked. Like, Machoke here is ranked 27 with Cross Chop Dynamic Punch as a moveset. Like, how is it even possible? Does it have even better stats than Machamp? It does not have really a little bit better stats than Machamp, but like it's kind of hilarious. Machoke is so good. Anyway, we're gonna take a look here at the upcoming next meta Pokemon. Here we have Aurorus, we have the Marowak, all of the Pokemon we kind of had before. And Annihilate again is going to be at 36. If you still didn't see that, they got rid of the Rage Fist nerf. Rage Fist is seemingly going to stay the same for the next season, which I think is the correct play. And I think they're mostly gonna nerf it in the future, because like, yeah, Primeape can be very, very overpowered. but I would imagine that they're going to change it in a different way in terms of doing a little bit less damage, which makes way more sense than getting rid of the energy change, basically. Like the last time, like here, basically the change they wanted to do is give it +5 energy, which completely ruins Annihilate. Now, yeah, currently there's no change. In the future, I would rather see a damage reduction instead of what they want to do this season. Anyway, we're going to see like other Pokemon here again. Steelix was the Shadow variant of Thunderfang at 40, which is interesting. But otherwise, not really a lot of Pokemon that got buffed. Goodra with Thunder Punch got a little bit of a buff, I guess. But I think it does not really matter too much for this Pokemon. A little bit of a buff there for sure, like to 44. But otherwise, the meta stays kind of similar. Now we're going to have the final one here, and there are some interesting Pokemon here. One of them is going to be Electivire. This Pokemon was before rank 368. And I told you this Pokemon is going to have play now. It's rank 47. And that is quite a jump. Also, I could see that a Wigglytuff is one of the Pokemon, by the way, that this season gonna be basically a Wigglytuff season. It only got up by 1 rank here, but I do think that the Wigglytuff is going to be way, way better this season, as it's one of the Pokemon that can beat Corsa quite easily, but also going to benefit quite a bit from Rage Twist not getting nerfed. As it's going to be one of the best answers for Annihilate and the Primeape. So Wigglytuff, definitely a Pokemon you should look into for the next season again. But again, they're going to be videos towards this anyway, and there's going to be more in-depth stuff coming up as well on this channel. I hope that PvPoke updates their website as well a little bit more until this next season drops, because it's very nice to have PvPoke to just look into stuff. Greninja actually got a little bit of a nerf here apparently, but yeah, again, this is going to be the new meta ranking. You kind of really want to get, here for the new season, definitely the Corsola. Otherwise, you don't really have a lot of changes here. But again, as you see, the Gatsby of course got a little bit of a buff. But what I kind of want to say for the new season is that mainly like Pokemon got a little bit closer to the rest of the meta. There are some more counterplay towards like certain kind of cores that are currently in play. For example, there's a lot of like Gastrodon plus like flying type Pokemon, or Gastrodon plus like even other water type or like water ice type Pokemon, stuff like this. But like you have like, for example, now Emolga doing a little bit more damage to Thunder Shock, which is going to be great for the current meta. As it's going to be a flying type Pokemon as well. There's actually some rankings as well that you can take a look at that are not completely accurate anymore, but are still kind of showcasing some of the best changes here from, yeah, what's called from Draco's, which you're going to see as well. Shadow Zapdos, for example, at 84. This is not accurate because this was before they forgot basically to add Feraligatr into it. They had still on Ice Fang, and they also forgot to put out, like, it wasn't there yet. They didn't have the change in yet for the Annihilate and Primeape there. For example, here you see like how Annihilate and Primeape would have been if they would have actually nerfed Rage Twist, which is not the case anymore. But also you see here that Ice Punch is maybe even recommended for those Pokemon now, which is going to be also a change. But you see a lot of Pokemon that are going to be a little bit better. Starmie is not in here, but Starmie is going to be a good Pokemon, as you're going to see here from rank 900 to rank 66 is quite a big jump. We have Gliscor here as well. Down there we're going to have which got a buff as well with Sand Attack. We have Bibarel down there as well, which is going to be a good Pokemon. Dragalge is going to lose rankings if they would go for Focus Blast. Again, not really an ideal move to have, but otherwise there are going to be some interesting Pokemon. Pachirisu got a little bit of a buff. Typhlosion actually got a decent buff with Thunder Punch. That's going to be definitely more impactful. And so this is going to be kind of the meta changes for the next season. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you did, feel free to leave a like. Let me know in the comment section what is your favorite Pokemon that got buffed this season. Would be really interesting for me. For me, I am definitely looking forward the most to Morpeko. You know it already, it's my favorite Pokemon for PvP at the current time. And it's kind of funny because I didn't like the Pokemon beforehand, but the Pokemon itself for PvP, definitely interesting. I like that Thundershock got buffed for this Pokemon as well, making it even more brutal. But yeah, that's going to be it for this one. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I will see you later for another video.